Gordon Forbes has a month to complete the restoration of this classic Sharpie sailing dinghy.
Once you get close to the end, you're going to do things that you maybe wouldn't normally do.
He's got to grips with the hull and the varnishing has gone well, but he's struggling with the rigging.
You know, I didn't perceive the rigging as being such a big problem as it has.
He needs to go on a road trip to pick up a sail he's bought in Scotland, but the problem is he doesn't know if it's the right size.
These things are sent to try it.
Fast they do.
And he's also going to need to pull in his mates to help with final preparations. So, can Gordon put all these components together and finally sail the Sharpie on the Thames after 20 years on dry land?
Are you glad you've taken on the project?
Can you ask me that on the 16th of August, please?
Before Gordon can do anything, he's got the chance to head back home to Scotland to pick up a sail. He just hopes that the journey is worth it and that the sail is the right size.
Gordon Forbes.
Pleased to meet you.
Originally, I thought Gordon's measurements of 10 by 10 sounded unusual for a gunter sail, which is what he'll need for the Sharpie.
3, is it? 3,
I also felt it was too small. Anything bigger than that, and it should be just about right.
Yeah, it is beautiful condition.
The good news is, it's the right shape, but is it the right size?
You want it in feet?
Yeah.
9 feet and an inch.
Okay.
That's 10 feet. 1, 2, 3, 7 inches.
10?
10 foot 7.
Yeah, so it doesn't look 10 foot.
Gordon looks confused, but with the luff and the gaff spar measurement combined, it makes roughly 19 feet, which is a much better size. And with a boom measurement of 13 feet,
Right.
it looks as if this sail is the business.
Sorry, they're English.
Happy that the sail is the right fit for such a unique boat, Gordon pays up. And before he heads back to Eel Pie Island, he's got one more place to visit.
Came up here to see my sister, my brother-in-law. And it's just a spot that I absolutely love. I mean, the scenery around here is just so gorgeous and so peaceful away from the city. I come and stand on this beach, and it's like over there, that oil rig is a past life. Many years ago, I used to work in the oil and gas industry. Whether it's been scrapped or in for maintenance, but it's been there for years. That is a past life, and the water is my current life. Even though normally I'm on the river and not in a vast estuary like this. But isn't it beautiful?
Back at Eel Pie Island, while Gordon's been away, Simon and Mike have been prepping the mast in readiness for the sail. Before Gordon's trip, he decided to take my advice and bind up the bamboo spars to repair the large shakes. And since then, Simon's painted them. All in all, it looks like this project is finally coming together, but before they can bend on the sail, and now that Gordon's finished the varnish, the Sharpie needs to be put back in the water for a test run. The boat is looking fabulous on deck and on the inside. Let's just hope she floats.
Lifeboat launch. And there she be. Oh, you want to take the trailer up now, Gordon?
Hey?
Pull the trailer back. Oh, we've got water. Gordon, we got that pump.
Hey.
It's perfectly normal for a boat of this age that's dried out to have gaps between the planks that will expand once they've absorbed enough water. But some of these gaps are just too big.
I think it might be just a little bit too big for this one. Because wood, when it gets old, it deteriorates, doesn't have as much stretchiness and capability. Oh, could be worse, could be worse.
Never having had a wooden boat, I wouldn't know how much, but I just knew it was going to leak like mad.
We ain't crying yet.
No, not crying yet. I was upset this morning when I got the black paint all over the top of the varnish, but hopefully we'll get that off. And I'll be upset if we can't fix the leaks.
For now, bailing her out is just a damage limitation exercise. They'll have to pull her out and fill the gaps with sealant. But for the moment, it's actually good for the wood that she's getting wet. The next day, and Gordon's come armed with some sealant. He's using one which has high fluidity and means the wood has maximum flexibility to expand around it. Meanwhile, the guys have finished prepping the rig. And hopefully today they'll be able to step the mast and get the sails on. And they're already looking ahead to celebrating the launch.
We're celebrating good time old fashion.
Oh, possibly.
Crawling home. Somehow.
But before then, there's still loads of work to do on the rig. And they've got 2 days to do it before I come back to hopefully do some sailing.
Take her over.
And the boat's still leaking, so some extra sealant will help her on her way.
You're going to need a knife for that.
Nah.
Gordon's bought a new gaff jaw, which locates the gunter spar on the mast. And Simon's preparing the mainsail, hopefully to hoist it for the first time. With the boat's rigging almost complete, there are still some issues with the Sharpie's planks and whether they'll expand in time for her to be taken sailing.
It's not going to keep on leaking like this.
Well, no, it's going to take up, but I think...
We took it across yesterday evening to go to the pub, and it was still leaking. And then throughout the night, I just woke up every hour, pumped it out again, and come about 2, 3 in the morning, it was getting less and less and less. So it's like looking after a baby. It needs fed, and it leaks a lot.
With the Sharpie still leaking this badly and the launch set for tomorrow, it looks as if it's going to be another long night for Gordon. It's the day of the launch. There isn't a whisper of wind in the air, but the Sharpie is still floating.
Well, here we are. Just gone 10, Richmond Yacht Club, right where Gordon said. I wonder if he's ready. Well, there's one with sails there. Well, that can't be him. Actually, maybe it is. Whose is this one then, Gordon? The one with the sails? That's a Sharpie. And... stone me, Gordon. Gordon, put it there. What a result. How have you managed that?
With assistance. The trusty Simon.
There he is. Simon. God, well done.
3 months ago, this boat was languishing on Eel Pie Island, not even good enough for firewood. It was a unique boat with an irreplaceable past, looking at a bleak future not uncommon with so many boats of this age. Now it's been rejuvenated, ready to sail the same waters that it glided through over 50 years ago. Not much has changed around here since then, and the man that built the boat is still around to see the final result.
Very nice, just right.
Lovely.
That's beautiful.
Let's just hope the breeze pipes up a tad.
I've tell you, done that before. Done a lot of work, this girl, you know, winding us all up. Well, Gordon, you know, from about day 2, I had you pegged as the man who had the great balance between work and relaxation. You seem to be a laid-back guy to me and knows how to have fun.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, what's happened to that curve of relaxation against work in the last 2 or 3 weeks since I last saw you? Because I'm amazed at what's been achieved here.
The past couple of weeks, solid this. The first 2 days of the month I worked, first 3 days of the month I worked in London, and then back on this, and it hasn't stopped since.
So I've got to admit, Gordon, that while you were doing this, and I popped my head in every so often, I became quite concerned that you didn't have enough sense of urgency. And I was worried stiff about the rig. I must say, I think you and Simon have done brilliantly to pull that rig together. I am really impressed by that. You know, you've done a lot of good for the world at large, because a lot of people are going to see this and think, cool, look what he's done.
Yeah.
In a defined set of time. And maybe I could do that.
This is it. I mean, I don't know anything about wooden gunter-rigged sailboats.
You do now, mate.
And yeah, now I do. And I've learned more today as we went out sailing. Yeah, it's bringing something back, a piece of beauty.
Yes.
And it is really worth the trouble.
I am absolutely thrilled with my day, because what Gordon has achieved here is really what this whole series is about. He's a man with a dream. He saw an old boat, he saw through all the crud and the crazed varnish and the mud, and he dreamed. He saw what could happen with that boat if he worked hard and got his act together. And after crawling through the jungle and beating about the bush, he's finally pulled himself together, he's worked his butt off, and he's made the dream come real. And today, looking at his face, well, it was like waking up on a summer's morning after a good night's sleep. What a guy. What a result. Good for Gordon.
Next project? Do you want to have a preview?